point rule.
You want to get your R's and L's in today?
What do you think our top subject matter that we deal with is?
That's tough. It's probably between terminations and medical leaves of absence. And medical leaves of absence, has become so prevalent for a whole variety of different reasons and complexities attached to any given circumstance. But the timing of that question is interesting because effective June 19th, 2025, in Ontario, you have the addition of a very significant new statutory leave of absence under the employment standards legislation. And that's this medical illness, injury, leave of absence that it goes up to 27 weeks in a period of 52 weeks. And all the employee has to do to obtain that statutory job-protected leave of absence is to secure I'll call it a medical note, but it doesn't have to come from an MD, that identifies the employee is suffering from a serious medical condition and identify the anticipated duration of the leave of absence and that the employee can't perform his or her job duties. That's it. And often, as probably many know, you're often seeking, particularly in longer leaves of absence, more detailed medical information. But given the statute seems to set out what the employer can request or receive from the treating healthcare practitioner, it may just be limited to that. So that's it. Serious medical condition, what's the duration, and that the employee can't perform his or her duties. And then that employee secures up to 27 weeks. And it doesn't appear in any way that it has to be taken consecutively. So you've got a very, very lengthy period of absence now on, I'll call it, somewhat limited medical supporting documentation that the employee can avail himself or herself of, and all fine and good, because most employers would grant that there's no issue generally from a policy perspective. But what we're always dealing with, of course, and perhaps we're jaded to some degree, are those that exploit. Mm-hmm. And now you've got a situation where the statute affords that employee 27 weeks out of 52 for a medical leave of absence. So hopefully the vast majority of employees won't seek to exploit it, but in those few that certainly are willing to do so, this affords them quite a bit of leverage and challenges the employer, in those situations to respond appropriately. Mm-hmm. Do you type any differently if you're left-handed?
I don't think so.
Would a left-hander change the arrangement on the keyboard if they had their druthers?
No.
How do you know that?
I don't.